Welcome back to another Smash Bros. Ultimate Moveset. Wanted to get one more out before E3 and potential DLC confirmations. For this episode, I'll be looking at one of a handful of viable indie reps, whose massively popular game might be enough to make it Smash's first indie fighter. Breaking onto the scene with Team Cherry's 2017 Metroidvania Hollow Knight, the protagonist and player character of the game The Knight has made its face very well known to gamers. Hollow Knight has been met with basically universal praise and adoration since its release, due to a deep interesting world, gorgeous design, and tight rewarding combat. A lot of this praise also comes from Nintendo gamers, as Hollow Knight has remained one of the most popular games on the eShop since it came to Switch. Among the likes of Undertale and Cuphead, the endless support for indie games like Hollow Knight makes it seem more plausible than ever that an indie character like the Knight could get into Smash, especially now that Sakurai has collaborated with indie devs to get the Shovel Knight Assist Trophy and Shantae Spirits in. It's not the steady ground that it is for other first and third party characters, but with the indie scene success, Shovel Knight and Shantae paving the way, and Joker as the first DLC character, the Knight just might have a shot. So what would it be like for the Knight to get in? Well, for starters, its character model would definitely get a 3D makeover while staying very simplistic, like Kirby or Pikachu. That's really the only major change needed though, since its appearance in the game almost converts seamlessly to Smash. Let's get other less important aesthetic points out of the way. For palette swaps, each would reference other characters or enemy types in some way and mainly just change its cloak color. A dark red for Hornet, dark blue for the standard bugs, bright orange for the Radiants, green for the Grubs, a faded gold, white for the Pale King, and a black swap making it look almost identical to its shade. For its idle animation, it would give a little look up and down. As for its taunts, up taunt would look like the Knight uses focus to heal. Naturally, I don't think this move would actually heal you when you use it. I'll get back to why this is just a taunt later. Side taunt would have its shade pop out and fly around for a second before exploding and merging back with it. And with down taunt, it would pull out its map and look at it, then look around briefly before putting the map away. Now let's get into playing the Knight in Smash. The whole goal of successfully playing the Knight would be keeping up constant pressure and carefully using big finishing moves. While the Knight is middle of the road when it comes to speed and can bide his time with a semi-wall cling based on the Mantis Claw ability, it's still pretty darn light and easy to kill. Messing up attacks could lead to death just like in the game, so patient control of the character would be needed for victory. This control and pressure primarily comes from the fact that the Knight's moves are pulled almost entirely straight from the game, and therefore many of them are the basic slashes used in combat. The Knight's jab, most of the aerials, and side and up tilts would all be built around the basic slash attack, maybe with minor variations to the damage and knockback. Still, they wouldn't have too much knockback, and in particular down air would bounce the Knight just like in the game. These would be the foundation to building damage and keeping combos going. Other moves share this simple approach with slight variations, such as down tilt being more of a sweep, grab pummel being a headbutt, and the throws either being variations of a slash or driving a snail and opponent into the ground. While these moves make up a lot of the moveset and help build damage, these other moves bring in the Knight's more powerful tools in the form of nail arts, spells, and abilities. Rounding out its A moves, forward air and dash attack would be the aptly named dash slash, with a short quick lunge forward into a strong slash with a good sized hitbox. The other nail arts can be found in the smash attacks, with the great slash being used as a large powerful F smash, and cyclone slash being used as an equally destructive down smash. As for up smash, we start pulling from the spells with Howling Wraiths. This move would be its farthest reaching smash attack and still have great kill power and coverage. The Knight's special moves continue using the spells and abilities to help recovery and to mix up attacks. Neutral B would function exactly like its core soul attack with Vengeful Spirit, sending out a mid-range projectile carrying and damaging enemies for a short time before a finishing hit. However, unlike in the game, I chose not to implement the Knight's soul mechanic. This is why one of its taunts is the appearance of using focus. While the mechanic could very easily be implemented in Smash, having damage done refill soul and some moves deplete it while also giving the Knight a healing move like Wii Fit Trainer, I felt it was unnecessary to the gameplay to put in this gimmick. It's super important in Hollow Knight, giving the Knight more survivability, but it would probably only be frustrating in Smash. Generally, I try not to use aspects that limit a character's moves unless really necessary, like with my Henry Fleming moveset or how they did Inkling. That's also why I didn't give Doomslayer an ammo mechanic. Anyway, back on topic. Side B would be Shade Cloak, dashing the Knight forward farther than its dash attack but slower, while keeping it invincible and doing minor damage to anyone caught in the dash similar to Fox's Side B. This move could be used without a helpless state after in the air, but takes a lot of time in between uses. Up B would be a take on Crystal Heart, with a slow charge up that stalls falling followed by a massive charge upwards, knocking enemies out of the way that covers most vertical space. Though a great recovery, this move would leave the knight helpless afterwards and is pretty punishable. Finally, its down B would be Desolate Dive, sending the knight crashing downward with a powerful soul slam. There are a couple alternatives for the handling of this moveset. Like I said, you could use a soul mechanic that charges when you attack or get attacked, and you could heal, but without soul, your soul-based attacks would suffer greatly. You could also add in more charms to moves, with the Thorns of Agony counter being the first that comes to mind. And you could make the soul moves their upgraded versions, which I didn't do because, I don't know, I just like the other ones more. Still, I think the moves I laid out would work best to keep the character balanced and fun. To close out the moveset, the knight's final smash would be Dream Nail. This move would have it charge up the Dream Nail and slash whoever is in front of it. Then, similar to the game, the fighters would be teleported to a cutscene where the knight quickly cuts them apart and finishes them off with a huge soul explosion. Now that I've covered how the knight would fit into Smash, I also want to cover what other content it would bring with it. As we saw with Joker, we can expect DLC characters to have a classic campaign, a stage, new music, and an individual spirit board. For the Hollow Knight stage, there's a ton of beautiful locations to choose from, but for the purpose of Smash, I think the Coliseum of Fools would be a really great location. It'd provide a great chance for a changing arena that could also showcase some Hollow Knight enemies and bosses as stage hazards. Almost any location could be used as a stage though, especially City of Tears or changing Hollowness maps similar to Castle Siege. For the rest of the Knight's content though, there's two directions they could take it. One would be strictly focused on Hollow Knight itself, a classic campaign based on the bosses of the game, the amazing soundtrack with a few remixes, and spirits based on the friendly and enemy NPCs. Maybe a Hornet Me outfit or assist trophy. But if they choose to make the knight the token indie rep of Smash, that could be a great opportunity to bring in a load of content and references based on other popular indie games. A campaign built around the biggest indie heroes and villains, music from a variety of games, and spirits showcasing the most iconic indie characters to date. It'd be a great excuse to have a bunch of indie costumes too. Maybe it wouldn't quite fit the stage, but having the knight open the door for broader indie representation would be awesome. So with everything the knight could bring to Ultimate, does it stand a chance as a DLC fighter? Well, it's hard to say. It would certainly be easy to convert to Smash, has plenty of unique content to add to the game, but it comes down to the non-Japanese and indie factors. The knight would technically not only be the first indie representative and have the weight of that to carry, but would also be the first Australian-based company not attached to Nintendo to work with. And I'm not sure how smooth that chain of communication would be. Even Joker, who's a more left-field character, originated from Japan and is tied to an already established collaborator. On top of this strain, the knight would have to contend against other massively popular indie characters. Shantae is an obvious hurdle considering how requested she's been, but let's count her out for now as she's a spirit. Besides her, the knight would still have to be chosen over Sans from Undertale, Cuphead, Quote from Cave Story, and several other indie staples. Personally, I think the biggest indie competition comes from Sans and all the awesome unique stuff that could come from Undertale. I'd be thrilled to have either, and I don't think that either has an amazing chance over really established characters from huge companies, but the knight still does have a chance, especially compared to other indie characters. That concludes this Smash moveset for the knight. Let me know what you think about it, if you'd be interested in playing it or would rather see a different indie character or no indie character at all. Now it's time to anxiously await Smash news at E3. Until next time, thanks for watching.